Does mama look good, Jebediah? Is my hat on straight? You know it's gotta be on straight. Jebediah, you need to tell your brother to come in. No, he's not allowed to play in the cornfield anymore. Because last time he played in the cornfield, they made a movie about him. Now go get Malachi. Hi, babies. It's me, Debbie. You might have seen me before in other videos. And thank you, babies, for all the love I've been receiving. My family and I truly appreciate it. Now, today, Debbie is gonna dive right into it. Because what do I love more than anything in the world? That's right, corn. I love corn more than anything in the world. No, baby. I don't love it more than you. Now, here at Debbie's Cornhole, we are also an educational center. So we are here to tell you today the science of corn and its history. Now, some of you have been questioning whether or not Debbie knows her stuff. And babies, I've been in love with corn since I grew my first tooth and was able to take a bite of my first butter salted corn on the cob. Y'all know that's my favorite. So where did corn come from? What is corn? Why is corn a thing? Well, babies, do I have a tale for you? I don't know if you know this, but I'm pretty smart, especially when it comes to corn. Corn is an edible grain. That's right, babies. You can eat it all you want. Now, some people say that it is a worthless calorie with no nutritional benefits, but babies, the nutrition comes in the love. Don't you feel all warm and fuzzy inside when you take a bite of that corn on the cob, or you have your corn flakes in the morning? Now, I don't know who can't feel all warm and fuzzy inside, especially with cornbread melted with some butter. Ooh, Debbie's getting hungry. Corn is used to feed livestock, to feed human stock, and as biofuel. Bet you didn't know that one. The main corn grown in the United States is Indian corn, babies. It was also domesticated in Mexico over 10,000 years ago. Can you even believe? Now, the history of it is a little bit questionable. All right, I will say it is a bit questionable, babies, because, well, Debbie knows where it really comes from. You see, my grandpappy taught me exactly how to grow corn. He was a very fascinating individual, fought in the wars. Which wars we never found out before he passed, but he's kept talking about wars and how scary they were and bodies flying everywhere. I feel as though he had a traumatizing past, but he saved himself by starting to grow corn, and he passed on that tradition onto us, his lovely grandchildren. Now, I am the only grandchild that continued the tradition of corn. My other siblings found other crops. Disgraceful. And as my grandpappy explains it, you see, many, many, many years ago, there was a person. This person was hungry and tired, and they needed something to eat. They had been walking for miles and miles in the desert, and my grandpappy had told me that he went down to his knees, looked up to the sky, and he said, "Please, someone, anybody, feed this hungry belly that I have, for I will be grateful for all of eternity." And my grandpappy says that that man saw a light in the distance, in the sky, and it beamed down to him, and they were these funny looking folk who had gray skin and big old eyes and tiny, tiny mouths. And they wouldn't speak his language, but he understood them. And they said that they were gifting this golden crop onto him, for it was theirs. And they were meant to share it with the world, with this universe. The man saw this corn and he said, "What? What is this? How am I supposed to eat this?" And babies, those people that descended from the sky, they said, "You are to cook it, you are to replant it, and you are to let it grow for miles and miles and share it with everyone else in the world." The man was overjoyed. He could survive now. And he took this corn, placed it in a fire he built, and put a little bit of oil on it and a little bit of salt on it. And he ate it. And it was sweet. And it was salty. And it was delicious. Those gray people, they smiled at him. And then they went back and ascended into the sky once more. And that is when he knew he must carry out exactly what they had told him. He began to grow corn. And then there was green stalk everywhere, and the green stalk became gold, and he was able to share it with all the other people. And that, my babies, is the true history of corn. And that man, my babies, was my great-great-great-great-great-grandpappy Malachi. And that is why I have named Malachi, my son, after him, as one of the greatest corn growers in all the land. So you see, babies, why it is so disgraceful that my other siblings have rejected their one true calling, the calling of the cob. Now, I know some people might say, well, it was people who already existed on earth that gifted us corn, and that's fine. That's all well and good. But I will tell you that my grandpappy doesn't lie. He was never a liar. He was a timid man, but he was not a liar. And if y'all doubt me that corn came from the sky, then why do we have the harvest moon? Babies, trust me, Debbie knows her stuff, and Debbie will always be here to tell you the truth, and Debbie will always be here to keep you company with some corn facts. My family and I have continued to look for these corn gods since the beginning, since we have originally found that corn from my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpappy. We just want to thank them. And the only way to do that is to continue growing corn. Now, babies, there are similar stories like this all across the farming land. How do you think we got apples? I'm just saying, the farming world is got some secrets. Now, a couple of years later, this Columbus fella said that he was the one to start distributing it because he founded the Americas and blah-de-da-da-da. But they had already been founded, babies. There were already people living here. So what does he know? What, you put a stick in the ground, you say it's yours? I taught my babies much better than that, didn't I? Founded Americas, helped corn grow. Pfft. What are you, Santa Claus? Now that we've touched on the history, let's go on to the science of it. And the way it grows is when, well, cover your ears, Jebediah. He's not old enough to hear this stuff yet. You see, when two cornstalk love each other very, very much, babies, they start to sway in the wind, if you will. And they begin to do a dance of love in the sunset during the golden hour. And as they do this dance, the wind picks up some of their seeds, makes them kind of mix together, and then they float on into the earth, and then they land somewhere in the distance to create a new corn family of their own. You see, Debbie's never actually planted a single seed in her life. The corn does the work for her. My grandpappy taught me that. He said if you put enough love into it, you will get tenfold back. And I have. Babies, I want to thank you so much for joining me again on Debbie's Cornhole. And please, please keep on sending in your suggestions. What do you want to hear me talk about next? Is it corn related? Is it other crop related? Is it my children related? Jebediah, you could take your hands off your ears. Mama's done. Oh my God. Always remember that you can come on down to Debbie's Cornhole on the corner of you know and what, but please remember to wear a mask, babies. Debbie's Cornhole is very special because we are the reason that the Children of the Corn was made. Yes, I am the mother of the children that the story is based off of. Babies, please remember to stay kind to each other because we're all we got in the world. Who else are you going to talk to? Well, sometimes I talk to the crops, but they don't normally talk back, especially if they're in a bad mood. Thank you so much for joining me once again on Debbie's Cornhole. I'll see you soon, babies. Goodbye. Jebediah, I said hands off ears. Oh.